Welcome back to Strength for Today for September 22nd. Keep serving. I love to serve. Here we go. Genesis 39 verses 4 and 22. Genesis 39 verse 4 says, Joseph found favor in his eyes and became his attendant. Potiphar put him in charge of his household, and he entrusted to his care everything he owned. So the warden put Joseph in charge of all those held in prison, and he was made responsible for all that was done there. Keep serving. Joseph spent 12 years as a slave and as a prisoner. Instead of being impatient and complaining, like most of us would, I would be after 12 years, that's for sure. He served and learned leadership skills along the way. Joseph didn't do half-hearted work for Potiphar or act out in jail because he was upset over being wrongly imprisoned. Because of this, Potiphar put him in charge over his entire household. Imagine that. And the keeper of the prison put him in charge of all the other prisoners he was raising up. Joseph didn't know God's plan, but he honored and served God no matter his circumstances. And those 12 years prepared Joseph for what was ahead of him, being the administrator of Egypt. We might think our serving is going unnoticed or isn't important, but God sees how we are serving Him and others. He sees how you cook and clean for your family. He sees how you teach a toddler Sunday school class each week. He sees how you help the church office. He sees how diligently you work and honor Him at your job. Keep serving Him. You never know what future role He's preparing for you. I think of Joseph a lot when I start to get depressed, like maybe things aren't going so well for me. I mean, I have never been thrown into a pit. I've never been sold as a slave. And just think of all those years he was in prison and all the years he was waiting away from his family. He was just a young boy. But God used all those different circumstances to build him up, to give him maturity, so he could be second in command of all of Egypt. Just love that story. So I hope today, my friend, that if you're in a time, where you kind of feel like you're just going in circles, or like, who's noticing me, or is this even really making a difference? Maybe you're, like they say, teaching little kids Sunday school. I know I did a trailer park ministry for a long time, and sometimes you think, are we even getting through for these kids? And then like maybe a couple months later, one of the kids came up and just said something so sweet. They were like, thanks for teaching me about Jesus, and I really start to understand Him now, and I can feel Him in my heart. I just thought, wow, all these weeks when I was just doing this and the kids were acting up, and I would leave thinking that was like almost a waste of an hour and a half of my life. But guess what? We were chipping away at their sweet hearts. So I just share that example. I know you probably have some too. Just keep serving. And everything that you go through is building up your heart and your mind and your soul, getting you strong for the next big thing. Because God doesn't take us and just elevate us right away. I mean, Joseph didn't become second in command overnight. He had to go through all that really deep valley and come out the other side. So if you're in a deep valley, hang in there. The upside's coming, and God just might promote you, and you just never know all those sweet kids that you're working with all the time, what you're actually working on in their heart. So have that confidence today that you matter, my friend. You make a difference, and God is using you in mighty ways. Keep on serving, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. You can order your own copy of Strength for Today by Dr. David Jeremiah by going to davidjeremiah.org or calling Turning Point at 877-998-0222. And I would like to answer any question you may have about faith in Jesus. Just email me through my website, nancyjoytoyou.com. I hope you lean on God's strength and have a fantabulous day.